Miss Lake goes to work by taking the taxi or bus. She is twice more likely to take the bus than the taxi. The probability that she is late when taking the taxi is 2 over 9, and the probability that she is late when taking the bus is 1 over 5. What is the probability that Miss Late is not late on any particular day? So let's use a tree diagram here. First, we're going to be talking about taking the taxi versus the bus. And then we're going to be looking at whether they're on time or late. First, it says she is twice more likely to take the bus than a taxi. So if we look at P being the probability of taking the taxi, then the probability of taking the school bus will be 2P. So this will be taking the bus plus P is a probability of taking the taxi. That has to equal 1. So that means 3P is 1, which means P is 1/3. So the probability of taking the taxi is 1/3, and the probability of taking the bus is 2/3. Now, the probability that she is late when taking the taxi is 2 out of 9. So that's over here. Taxi is 2 out of 9. And then 7/9 is a probability that she'll be on time. And the probability that she is late when taking the bus is 1 over 5. That means on time will be 4 out of 5. So these numbers have to add up to 1. 7 over 9, 2 over 9, that's 1. And then 4 over 5 plus 1 over 5, that's also 1. So if we're looking at the probability of her not being late, well, there's two things you have to take into account. She could take the taxi and be on time, or she could take the bus and be on time. So we have to consider both of these cases. So if she takes a taxi, the probability is 1/3, and being on time is 7 over 9. Plus, now let's take the probability of taking the bus and then being on time. Here we get 7 over 27 plus 8 out of 15. Now, the greatest common factor of 27 and 15 is 3. So we can think of this as 3 times 9 and 3 times 5. So we need to multiply this by 5 and this by 9. So 5 times 7 is going to give us 35. 5 times 27, that's 135. And then 9 times 8 is 72. 15 times 9 is 135. Now we get a common denominator. 35 plus 72 is 107. And that's going to be all over 135. And that's our probability.